welcome back.
Welcome back, viewers.
So this will not be the last episode, but we're getting there, Eric.
We're in the home stretch.
So there's a couple of things I want to point out about the Black Omen. So the Black Omen is you remember the underwater palace where Chrono died?
Yes.
So this is that.
We fought. Yeah.
This is this facility. Now it's just like a ship. Somehow us meddling with the past made them make a ship. So anyways, if you go into the future, the queen's out here. And she basically says there's no point for us to, like, go into the Black Omen and defeat her. Because, like, Lavos has already destroyed this world.
Yeah.
So what time period do you want to fight in? I mean, you know what? We should do the closest one to the future. Because I think you can... No, you know what? I think this one is timeless. So I think when you open a chest, the chest is open in all time eras. Anyways, we'll just go to the present. I just wanted to show that off. She laughs at you. Also, keep in mind that we could go fight Lavos two different ways. We could go fight Lavos at the end of time. There's like a well or a bucket that you can fight him in. Or we could just go to the future on the time machine and fight him there. But we're going to do the Black Omen, because why wouldn't we do the last dungeon, right?
Yeah. When do you fight Mr. Brown the Bear?
Oh yeah, we talked about that, right?
Yeah.
Alright. Here's... Fools! Oh, also, I haven't showed off Flair yet.
Ric Flair?
Yeah.
The nature boy, styling and profiling.
Your dreams are hopeless. I'm not gonna use... Well, maybe I will use Flair on this thing. Why not? Look at that thing, Eric. It's spooky.
Yeah, some of the things in this game are really ugly looking. But the worst is still those... You remember the ones I don't like. The ones that are like tall and skinny and have bulbous heads with like yellow hair.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of mutants in this game, dude.
Yeah.
So... Luca just did like 20 damage.
So did Ayla.
True. I love Luca's gun, dude. And it just does so much damage. Alright, you ready to see Flair?
Yep.
It's pretty sweet.
Nice, but not as much as the other things he did.
It didn't do as much as Shock, but that's because Robo has the shades equipped. If he didn't have those shades equipped, he wouldn't have done enough, or as much as Flair, I don't think. Anyways, yeah, we just destroyed that boss, though, in 3 moves.
Yeah, but that wasn't supposed to be like a big deal, was it? Like that boss?
I don't know. I don't think it's terribly hard, but it's a boss. Just let me feel
a mini boss.
I'm a god at this game. Alright, Luca, you got this. Yeah, of course, okay. Do you see how good her ultimate weapon is, though?
Mm-hmm.
It's broke in. What's the Simpsons line?
Good lord, what is happening now? What Simpsons line?
Well, that's from the Simpsons, but
yeah.
Homer's still alive. Oh, let's hope he makes it fast for.
Oh no! Oh, thank God! I hope he pulls through.
Yeah.
Not me. He thinks he's being charming.
Yeah, or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
The drop. Do you like these things? They're very Akira Toriyama-y.
They are. They're okay.
They're pretty cool.
I don't hate them.
They look like they belong in Dragon Ball.
Kind of. There are a few enemies in this game that remind me of Jiran, if you remember who that is. Or Jiran, however you pronounce it. The purple dinosaur that Goku fights at the first tournament. You know who I'm talking about.
It's not ringing a bell. I'd have to Google image searches it. Oh, fuck. I just healed him.
Well, he's Goku's first opponent in the finals of the first tournament that they do in Dragon Ball.
Right. Don't kill me, please. Does Goku win?
He wins that fight.
Does Goku win every single tournament?
No, I thought that was cool, actually. He actually, despite, people complaining sometimes, and rightfully so sometimes, about it just being too much the Goku show, Dragon Ball was a little bit less like that, because the first two tournaments he doesn't win, he comes in second.
So, who does he lose to? Tien?
Tien in the second one, and Master Roshi in the first one.
So he's still not as strong as Master Roshi that far into Dragon Ball?
It's the first tournament.
They said he loses to Tien in the first tournament.
No, Tien in the second, Master Roshi in the first.
You did it opposite. Oh, okay.
Well, because you said Tien, so I was like, Tien in the second, Roshi in the first.
You're an idiot, alright? Don't fucking do this in front of the viewers. Imagine it was like that.
That was actually, there was a funny Retsuprey that I watched last night where it was like, the one guy got like legitimately pissed at the other guy and it was so awkward.
Was it an episode of Game Grumps with JonTron? Yeah, I went there, viewers. Anyways. Okay, well, I guess him losing to... Now, remember Tien being a villain?
Yeah. And I did think it was cool because, like, the way, like, he lost the first two tournaments. Once against Roshi, once against Tien, but both times it was literally by, like, the skin of his teeth.
Right. So what's the first one he won? Who did he beat? Tien.
Piccolo.
Oh.
Piccolo.
Now, Piccolo in Dragon Ball is a demon and not an alien.
Yeah, but I don't, that's not even really a retcon. It was like he didn't know what he was, he called himself a demon, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is kind of cool how they did that. I'll give a Kira out for that. I just hate retconning stuff.
Yeah, but it's not a retcon.
I know, I'm just saying in general, I hate retcons.
Me too.
Trying to
Me too,
push
I
the
really...
conversation into that direction.
Yeah, no, I really fucking hate them as well. Trying to think of some good examples of ones that pissed me off.
Well, almost every sitcom in the world has...
yeah.
King of Queens is pretty notorious for it.
King of Queens is horrible because they literally, like... One of the whole reasons why the show was called King of Queens, it was a two-meaning title, because he lived in Queens, but also because he lived with two chicks, Carrie and her hot sister, the Queens, plural.
Yeah.
And then they wrote out the fucking sister after, like, the third episode,
yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, no, I know. And it's... I don't know why. Oh, these things are so pointless to fucking... funny.
And you could even see they were trying to go places with the humor with it, like
him seeing her in the shower and stuff.
Yeah, it's like, oh, she's hot, but he can't like check her out because it's his wife's sister.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I can't. I don't know what to tell you. You know. All right. Retcons. Damn. Yeah, so they kind of just retconned how they met, how they got together. They retconned Deacon's relationship with Carrie. Like, at first they were both, you know, their husbands were friends, so they were kind of friends, and they didn't really know each other. And then they got to know each other. But then there's an episode where they go to a wedding for a mutual friend from high school.
Who they both fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, but Deacon and Kevin James are friends.
Yeah.
So I really thought that was dumb.
They met, yeah, and they made Doug and Carrie, like, first they met at a club.
Yeah.
And then they actually met while they were kids at summer camp.
Okay, that one's kind of okay, because it's like, oh, they had forgotten.
Yeah.
But that one's okay.
Well, there was a different one?
No, I just mean, like, them meeting at camp.
Oh.
Because they didn't remember that they met at camp, because it was so long ago that they were kids.
You said they retconned how they met, so if you don't think that was that bad...
So there's, like, the club thing, or I guess how they got together. There's a few episodes. I just remember the episode where he lies to her to sleep with her. I just remember catching a retcon, being like, that's not what they said in a previous episode. Now, I guess what old shows used to try to get away with was you'd only watch before reruns, even, right? You would watch one episode a week. So 7 years.
Well, I mean,
who the fuck remembers?
Reruns were a thing for a while. I think it was more just you said that, like, it was before DVDs and before Netflix, so, like, you either had to catch it on TV or catch it in a rerun. And I'm sure, like, devoted fans would catch retcons, but that's one thing, I guess, if you want to make a good show now, you have to be a lot more careful about that.
See, okay, so Frasier, they kind of retcon his backstory, because when he's in Cheers, he says he doesn't have a brother and that his dad was a psychiatrist.
Right, but they actually came up with an explanation for it. They had
an explanation, yes. They wrote in that, okay, he had a really shitty relationship with his brother and dad, and that's what the first couple of seasons are about.
Right, they illustrate that. So that one I would say is totally acceptable.
Yeah.
Because they didn't even shy away from it. They went out of their way to bring it up.
Yeah.
And the retcon was on a totally separate show. It was on Cheers.
Yeah, so they had Sam come over from Cheers and be like, wait a
minute, I thought you said your dad was dead and you were an only child.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that is totally acceptable. Frasier was really good about stuff like that. The only thing that, and this isn't really a retcon, it's kind of just shitty writing. Well, actually, no, now that I think about it, it is a retcon, because I'm pretty sure that before they implied that Marty was an only child, and then there's that one episode where he's got a brother, and you only see him in that one episode and never again.
It's just so...
And it was just like another...
It's just one of these things that they're like, let's have them in a Greek family.
Well, it's another Frasier's medals where he doesn't belong storyline. And it's like, those are fine. Those make for some funny episodes, but they could have done it in a different way than to make a retcon.
They honestly could have just had it have been their mother's family.
They could have done that, or they could have even had it been like an old family friend or something like that. You know what I mean?
They honestly, they didn't have to write in that Marty had this brother. they're brothers, but they never see each other. They never spend time with each other.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
Right, and yeah, you know what? Now that you mention it, that would have even been an easier way to keep it in the family. Have it be the mother's extended family.
Yeah. So it's like, oh, they're getting married. Oh, you know, like, we don't really see them anymore because Frasier fucked this up. And we're not...
Right, and then the mom's dead, and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a perfectly good reason for them to be there. But so they had, like, these jokes of just... I guess they did it that way because they had the joke because they just... Crane... or Marty being like, well, I'll see you in like 15 years when we're both dead.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I hate these things. Yeah, I'm a big fan of continuity. I'm not saying I'm like a great writer or whatever, but it's kind of like when you get an idea in your head, you need to think of all the backstories.
Yeah.
And you need to
or at least if you do something, stick to it.
Yeah, exactly. Just stick to your idea. Don't make things too overly complicated, because that's when things start falling apart.
One thing I really thought was like, sorry, I'm kind of stuck on Frasier now.
Okay, no,
but
good.
Just that show had really good writing in the sense that first season Frasier, you could tell how like being in Boston and hanging out at Cheers had influenced him, because in season 1 he was a lot less like frou-frou. Yeah, and yeah, I think they already started the sherry thing in season 1, but he would also sometimes have a beer or like a bourbon and soda or something like that.
Episode when they come over to see Martin, he offers beers to Niles and Frasier, and Niles is like, no, but Frasier's like, oh God, please.
Yeah.
Where in later seasons, like Frasier like vomits at like the thought of drinking.
Well, because now he gets back into the whole Seattle lifestyle, and he's influenced by his brother. So I don't know. I thought that was kind of cool, actually.
It's really good. It's a really well-written show, and that's weird to say for sitcoms.
Right, because sitcoms it's usually just about the jokes.
Yeah. Again, it's like it's. I'm not a published writer, but I have gotten not praise. I've just heard good things about the few things that I have finished writing and I've shown people. And I have a friend who went to school for English and writing and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, yeah, your continuity, you're able to start things and finish it all properly, fucking spot on. She had me, like, read some of her boyfriend's work and shit to make sure it was all intact.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, it's just Frasier's really good at it, and it's a sitcom, and it's just I'm glad they went for that, because it just makes the show better and feel more real.
Yeah, and I think that maybe that's why it's one of the better sitcoms.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Seinfeld's great, but I think you get more out of Frasier.
Oh, Seinfeld's a mess, dude. In the first seasons, all of them are talking about having brothers and sisters. You never see them, and they never mention them.
Yeah. You know what I honestly feel like that was? It was like they thought maybe we'll do an episode about George's brother at some point. So they're like setting up that, keeping that door open, but then they decided they didn't want to, so...
They just
you know.
never hear of him ever again.
Yeah.
I don't like that shit, man. What time is it? Okay, we got more time. Damn, we're probably gonna finish this game next episode. It's probably gonna be a really long one, but we might just finish it, honestly.
How'd that heel one?
Because it bit out. These things, like, eat each other.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's gross. Like a teenage girl that just thinks everything's gross. That's gross.
Ow. Ah.
Do you have
other writing shit I wanted to say?
Well, I was going to ask you if you have a favorite episode of Frasier.
Either the one with Patrick Stewart.
That is a good one.
You know, I can't really think of one right now. I really like... It's one of the later episodes. But I really like the episode where it begins with them fucking up a party. Because a lot of episodes in Frasier are them fucking up parties. So, like, yeah, you have, like, Martin, the dad, coming out.
Pretending to be somebody else.
Pretending to be, like, a colonel.
Yeah, like, Dad, you're not the Count anymore.
Yeah.
Forget it.
Yeah. That joke's fucking funny, man.
Yeah, that is... And that was almost like they were, like, self-aware at that point. The show, it's like
their dinner party episodes were getting out of hand.
Out of control, yeah.
A
good one is the one where, and it's like that, is, holy shit, I just totally lost my... Oh, the one where it's like Daphne's old boyfriend comes.
Oh my god, and Martin's an astronaut?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one. They just always
try
to their way out of things, and they're just all terrible at it.
Also, a similar episode to the Patrick Stewart one is the one where Frasier's new boss is gay. And Frasier invites him over to try and set him up with Daphne. But he thinks it's him he thinks Frasier's like inviting him over for himself. You remember that one?
I don't.
That one's really funny.
Wait a minute.
Because, like, the guy thinks Frasier brought him over on a date, right?
Right.
But Frasier brought him over for Daphne, so, like, the guy comes in and he's like, wow, you got quite a nice view here. And Frasier's like, you should see it from the bedroom. And the guy's just like, whoa, why don't we just start with dinner?
That's so good. I was gonna say something about... Oh! I was gonna... Man, I hope this... It's fine. My friend told me... So she's like an editor at a... like a publishing company.
Yeah, she works for Pendant Publishing.
Yeah. And she told me of this story she had to read one time, because like they get people bring in stories all the time, right? Books.
Now, sorry, don't lose your train of thought, but I want to ask you one thing real quick. What? Do they literally have to read everything that anybody sends them to see if it's good?
I don't think it's everything. I think they talk to people first.
Okay.
So, yeah, this episode is going to run a little long. But anyways, what is these guys saying? Shop. Okay.
Oh, you can buy shit from monsters. That's always nice.
Oh, we have fought a few of these. How many hyper healthers do I need? That's so expensive. Yeah, just give me a couple more of these. Yeah. Okay. So...
Yeah.
Stay. Okay. So, she told me of this story she had to read. And... First of all, it starts off with... It's about 4 women who can't get pregnant. So, eventually, one woman shows up, and she is pregnant, and she says that she will give the baby to one of them, and they end up trying to do something. So, like, they get the baby. So then this woman, she goes missing. So, yeah, they go missing. So you think that's the story, is like, who did it, right? Which of these 4 women did it? No, they hire a private investigator. And the private investigator goes off and tries to find clues. That private investigator also goes missing and sends their notes to another private investigator. So that's where the story continues with this other main character, but that private investigator can turn into a snow leopard. And it's just one of these things where it's like, just start the book with the first private investigator being hired by the 4 women.
Now, is this being published, or is this just something she had to read?
This is just something she had to read. Now, like I was just saying, have it start with the private investigator and the 4 women going and asking him or her, to find this woman who has the baby that they want. Right?
Yeah.
You don't need the second investigator. You don't need them to turn into a snow leopard. But if you really need that in your book, just have it be the first investigator. There doesn't need to be 2.
Is this chick just a furry and she had to insert a furry into it or something?
That's what I said. You know, maybe...
Sorry, an otherkin?
Maybe I'm wrong. You know what I mean? Like, maybe there's some crazy...
Well, I don't think that there's anything wrong with, personally. It just sounds like a really kind of bizarre,
in my opinion, there's too much... couple too many key points going on there.
Yeah, no, I can see that.
Oh, that did no damage. Great. It's just auto attack.
Meow, strife, meow, meow, meow.
Now Ayla has haste, so now she's even faster. And that's pretty okay with me.
That's okay with me, man.
So yeah, cape. I don't think we want to equip this. Actually, look, it would bring our stats up to star.
Is that the max?
That's the max.
Is that like Brawly? His power is maximum?
No. Anyways, viewers, we'll continue this next time.
Bye, we love ya.
It'll probably be the last episode, so buckle in.
Bye, love ya.